What if I told you the reason you're broke has nothing to do with your job, your degree, or even your debt, and everything to do with your daily habits? Because here's the wild part. Self-made millionaires aren't superheroes. I mean, they're not born with secret cheat codes. They manufacture their wealth through tiny, invisible behaviors that compound over time. And today, I'm going to expose 15 secret habits that quietly turn ordinary people into millionaires. Some of these are so strange you'll laugh, until you realize they're the exact reasons the rich keep pulling away while everyone else is stuck. So let's dive straight into the first, and arguably the most powerful millionaire habit on this list. Habit number 1, they obsess over time, not money. Okay, now here's the God-honest truth that's lasted for decades now. Poor people trade their hours for dollars. Rich people? They guard their hours like a paranoid dragon guarding its treasure. Take billionaire Warren Buffett, for example. He famously keeps his schedule nearly empty. Why? Because time is his most valuable asset. You can lose money and make it back. But once you waste an hour scrolling TikTok on your couch, it's gone forever. You need to understand that millionaires structure their lives so they're constantly buying back their time. They outsource boring tasks. They pay for convenience. They invest in systems that multiply their efforts. Every hour they free up can be reinvested into thinking bigger, networking, or building assets. So here's what I want you to do. Start tracking your time the way you'd track your money. Ask, is this activity building me wealth or just killing time? And speaking of killing time, millionaires have another weird trick for making sure their minds never go to waste. Habit number 2, they read like their lives depend on it. Now, this one is a stat that might sting a little, but it needs to be said. The average CEO reads about 50 books per year. The average person, they binge Netflix like it's their second job. So why does this matter? Because reading is leverage. Every book is a shortcut to someone else's 10 years of experience. That's why Bill Gates retreats twice a year on Think Weeks, where he literally disappears with a suitcase full of books. Sounds nerdy, right? But that nerdy habit is one of the reasons he built Microsoft into a trillion-dollar company. Millionaires don't read to look smart. They read to solve problems faster than everyone else. While most people Google how to get rich quick, the wealthy are consuming deep knowledge about money, psychology, negotiation, and markets. Now I've got a simple solution, but it requires a little discipline. Replace 30 minutes of scrolling with 30 minutes of reading daily. Start small. Even audiobooks count. Your brain will thank you. But here's the catch. Reading alone won't make you rich. Millionaires have a secret move they pair with it, one that 99% of people avoid like the plague. Habit number 3, they take asymmetric bets. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. Most people are terrified of risk. They think, what if I lose? Millionaires flip the script and ask, what if I win big? Here's the difference. They don't gamble recklessly. They make what's called asymmetric bets, small risks with massive upside. Think about Jeff Bezos leaving his Wall Street job to start Amazon. He calculated the downside. Worst case, he could always get another job, versus the upside. Best case, he changes the entire world. That's an asymmetric bet. Even on a smaller scale, millionaires do this all the time. They invest in startups, side hustles, real estate, or skills that could 10 times their income. If they lose a little. If they win big. Here's your next move. Start asking this question before every decision. What's the worst that can happen, and what's the best? If the best case payoff dwarfs the worst case loss, take the shot. And if you're someone still working on your path to financial freedom, be sure to subscribe to the channel and consider becoming a member to stay updated on all of our upcoming videos. But anyways, keep in mind, millionaires don't just rely on these bets. They actually stack another habit on top that multiplies every single win. Habit number 4, they network like their net worth depends on it. Here's a blunt truth, and you've heard me say it before. Your network is your net worth. The broke guy at the bar complains about not knowing the right people. The millionaire, they manufacture luck by constantly meeting new people and staying connected. Think about it. One handshake can change your life. Oprah got her talk show gig because a producer saw her raw talent. Mark Zuckerberg didn't build Facebook alone. He had a network of Harvard nerds coding with him. Millionaires treat relationships like assets. They don't just hang out. They intentionally surround themselves with people who are smarter, richer, and more ambitious. Why? Because energy and ideas are contagious. The action plan is actually easier than you think. Audit your circle. Are the 5 people you spend the most time with dragging you down or pulling you up? Start reaching out to people you admire, even if it feels uncomfortable. And while their networks grow, there's another sneaky move millionaires make to keep their edge. They literally write their futures into existence. Habit number 5, they journal like crazy, but not about feelings. All right, forget the teenage Dear Diary cliche. Millionaires journal differently. They don't write about their crush or their cat. They write about strategies, lessons, and future goals. Here's the secret. The act of writing forces clarity. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin, credits his notebooks for helping him capture ideas that turned into billion-dollar businesses. He once said, "My most essential possession is a notebook. I could lose everything else, but my notebooks are irreplaceable." Think about it. The average person forgets 90% of their ideas within a day. Millionaires don't trust their brains. They trust their journals. They record mistakes so they're not repeated, wins so they're replicated, and visions so they're executed. The solution is pretty straightforward, so write this down. Start journaling daily, but keep it simple. Ask yourself, what worked today? What didn't? What's next? That's it. Do this for a year and watch your brain become a millionaire factory. But don't get it twisted. Journaling alone doesn't make you rich. Millionaires pair it with a habit that separates the casual dreamers from the real players. Habit number 6, they treat their body like a business. Look, money is useless if you're too tired or sick to enjoy it. Millionaires know this, which is why they treat their health as seriously as their investments. Think of your body like the engine of a Ferrari. You can't expect to hit 200 miles per hour if you're filling the tank with soda and chips. That's why guys like Mark Cuban swear by daily workouts and clean eating. It's not vanity, it's strategy. A healthy body equals a sharp brain, and a sharp brain equals better decisions. More energy, more deals closed. Meanwhile, most broke people run on caffeine, junk food, and 4 hours of sleep. Then wonder why they can't focus or build wealth. Millionaires see health as compound interest. Every workout, every good meal, every night of solid sleep adds years and energy to their wealth-building timeline. Seriously, don't overcomplicate it. Move your body 30 minutes a day, eat more real food than processed garbage, and guard your sleep like it's gold. Because it is. And speaking of gold, millionaires have one more unfair advantage they use to keep stacking wealth while the rest of the world wastes their paychecks. Habit number 7, they live way below their means, but don't look cheap. Here's where people get it twisted. Millionaires aren't cheap, they're strategic. The average person thinks, if I made more money, I'd buy a nicer car, a bigger house, and finally flex on Instagram. The self-made millionaire says, cool, and that's why you'll stay broke. Look at Warren Buffett again. Worth billions, still lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958. Or Elon Musk, who literally couch surfed at friends' places while running Tesla and SpaceX. They're not allergic to luxury, but they only upgrade when their money is making babies, not when their ego demands it. Living below their means gives millionaires their biggest weapon, cash flow, and cash flow buys freedom. So here's what you can do. Before buying something flashy, ask, would future me thank me for this or curse me? If it won't increase your freedom or income, skip it. And while most people chase shiny objects, millionaires double down on something far more powerful, their skills. Habit number 8, they build skills like weapons. Here's a secret nobody tells you. Millionaires aren't just lucky with business ideas. They're armed to the teeth with high-value skills. Sales, negotiation, public speaking, investing, writing, marketing. Millionaires treat these like weapons in an arsenal. Every skill is a lever that multiplies their earning potential. Example, take Chris Rock. Before Netflix paid him like $40 million for comedy specials, he spent years honing public speaking, timing, and storytelling. Those skills compound. Same with business moguls. Their overnight success is just years of skill stacking. Meanwhile, the broke crowd, they chase certifications that don't pay or stop learning once school ends. Big mistake. Millionaires never stop sharpening their blades. Try this. Pick one skill this year that could 10 times your income. Sales, coding, content creation, doesn't matter. Just commit to mastering it like your life depends on it. But here's the kicker. Building skills is only half the game. Millionaires also know how to cash in on them, thanks to one sneaky system. Habit number 9, they automate money like robots. I'm just going to be blunt with it. Millionaires don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. The average person says, "I'll save whatever's left after bills and fun." Spoiler: nothing's left. Millionaires flip the formula. They automate investments, savings, and business systems so money moves without their emotion messing it up. Think of it like putting your wealth on autopilot. Tony Robbins says, "You don't get wealthy by working harder. You get wealthy by setting up a system that works harder than you do." Automation is why self-made millionaires build wealth while sleeping. Their cash is silently flowing into index funds, real estate, or businesses, not sitting in checking accounts waiting to be spent on DoorDash. So here's a system that literally never fails. Set up auto transfers the day you get paid. 10% into savings, 15% into investments. No decisions, no temptations, just quiet growth. And while their money is growing in the background, millionaires use the freed up brain power to do something even more powerful. They think way bigger than everyone else. Habit number 10, they think in decades, not days. Here's why most people never get rich. They want results faster than Amazon Prime shipping. If they don't see instant payoff, they quit. Millionaires, they play the long game. They think in decades, not days. Jeff Bezos built Amazon with a 10 to 20-year horizon in mind, not a get-rich-by-Friday strategy. Same with investors like Ray Dalio. They know the compounding effect of patience is undefeated. Meanwhile, the broke crowd is gambling on meme stocks, chasing crypto pumps, or hopping on the latest side hustle trend. Millionaires stay calm, zoom out, and stick to long-term bets. Start asking, will this decision still matter in 10 years? If not, stop obsessing. Focus only on plays that compound. But here's the kicker. Thinking long-term doesn't mean sitting around doing nothing. Millionaires pair patience with another sneaky habit that multiplies their wins. Habit number 11. They track every dollar like a hawk. Here's the dirty little secret. Millionaires are obsessed with cash flow. Most people avoid looking at their bank statements because it makes them sad. Millionaires look every single week, not because they're cheap, but because they want control. Take Grant Cardone. Love him or hate him, he tracks every dollar because he knows where money flows, attention goes. By knowing exactly where cash comes from and where it leaks out, millionaires can cut waste and funnel more into wealth-building assets. Meanwhile, broke folks blow $300 a month on little treats and wonder why they can't escape the paycheck-to-paycheck trap. Here's the solution. Spend 15 minutes a week reviewing your money. That's it. Apps like Mint or YNAB make it automatic. Track it, control it, grow it. And once they've got money under control, millionaires do something most people think is risky, but it's actually their unfair advantage. Habit number 12. They invest when others panic. Here's the spicy truth. Millionaires make their biggest moves during chaos. When the average person panics during a market crash, millionaires see discounts. In 2008, while everyone else was selling homes at a loss, savvy investors were scooping them up for pennies on the dollar. Fast forward, and those same properties are worth millions. Warren Buffett's famous line says it all. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Millionaires know emotions kill returns, so they use downturns to buy assets at bargain prices. Meanwhile, the broke crowd panics, sells low, and locks in their losses. Bottom line, next time the market dips, don't freak out. Breathe. Zoom out. Ask yourself, is this asset fundamentally strong? If yes, treat it like it's on sale. And while investing during chaos builds wealth, there's another hidden millionaire habit that protects it, one that poor people almost never use. Habit number 13, they protect wealth with stealth. Here's the funny thing, real millionaires aren't the ones flexing Gucci belts on Instagram. They're the ones you never notice. Why? Because stealth is protection. If people don't know how much you make, they can't beg, scam, or target you. Millionaires practice what's called stealth wealth. Quiet money moves that let them grow without drawing attention. Think of it like this. The flashy guy in the rented Lamborghini, broke by next week. The quiet woman in the Toyota Corolla. She owns half the apartment buildings downtown. I can't believe I have to say this, but stop broadcasting your financial wins. Build quietly. Flex later if you want, but by then, you won't need to. And while stealth protects their wealth, millionaires also use another sneaky move to keep their brains sharper than everyone else's. Habit number 14. They schedule thinking time. Sounds weird, right? Who schedules thinking? Millionaires do. Most people fill their days with noise. Emails, TikTok, endless urgent tasks. Millionaires carve out silence. Bill Gates does his famous think weeks. Elon Musk is known for blocking hours just to think deeply about first principles. Why? Because clarity doesn't come from chaos. Their biggest breakthroughs happen when their brains have space to connect dots. Meanwhile, broke folks never stop moving, yet wonder why they feel stuck. So here's what I want you to do. Block 1 hour a week for thinking time. No phone, no laptop, just you, a notebook, and your brain. Watch how your ideas evolve when you give them oxygen. And that quiet time leads perfectly into the final and most underrated millionaire habit. Habit number 15, they play the infinite game. Here's the ultimate millionaire mindset. They're not playing to retire at 40 and sip margaritas. They're playing to keep building, learning, and impacting forever. Simon Sinek calls it the infinite game. Millionaires don't stop once they hit a number, they just change the level they're playing on. First, it's financial freedom, then it's legacy, then it's influence. That's why you see billionaires in their 70s still grinding. It's not about money anymore, it's about purpose. Meanwhile, most people quit once they hit comfortable. And that comfort zone is where dreams go to die. It's a concept that most people can't seem to understand. Redefine your end game. Don't just aim for money, aim for freedom, impact, and purpose. That's how you stay hungry long after you hit millionaire status. So here's the challenge. Pick just one of these habits and start today. Because success isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in quiet daily choices that compound. And if you made it this far, you're already ahead of 99% of people. Comment stealth wealth below if you're serious about building quietly while the rest of the world flexes fake riches. Now, if you thought these habits were powerful, wait until you see the rules the rich live by. I've got a full breakdown of the 10 rules rich people never break, and trust me, you'll want to know them before you make your next money move. Click here to watch that video next.